I don't. Most people, most of you that I cuss out. Okay. The people at Huachuca and deep in the bowels of White Sands and stuff like that. No, I don't cuss out. Um, I there might be some that there's hope for, but I'm not feeling it. Okay? I'm not feeling it. They're so addicted to their delusions of power and authority and manipulation that they think they're so right. They're doing everything right. They've got it all down. Everybody else is just too stupid to get it on how perfect and brilliant and protecting they are. Right? And then when you watch what's happening in government, you see the corruption of the quote liberal spending because there's no discipline. Uh, and then in order to do things right, you need discipline. And then they take the conservative portion or party and say that these people have discipline. And the thing is they're both addicted to feeling powerful through manipulation. It's just that the military thinks it requires discipline. What? Discipline. Discipline is being able to keep my cool so children can live the Lord's Prayer and not running around trying to rip all your fucking heads off like poor Samson had to do with the jawbone of an ass. That's discipline. Discipline is me sitting down and trying to find a compassionate way to connect everybody, to get them to stand up on social media for the Lord's Prayer with me, even though the military won't allow it to happen through me trending. Okay, and I am having a difficult time fixing the technology to get it to reflect me instead of turd bags like you. I'm the most disciplined person. I think anybody who's ever had the capacity to feel or see, just simply because D.T. Suzuki, Jiddu Krishnamurti, and Haile Selassie and Sun Yat-sen weren't put in the same position to me because of the technology. Okay. And they knew it was me. And they knew I had to do it, but they knew I could do it. And them, if they had to do it, they would do it, and I would be helping them through in the past, too. Okay. So, and I would feel in the past just as, hopeful and sad, and, I'd feel just like Sun Yat-sen and Suzuki feel when they talk to me. I love you. I love you, too. And I told my body today, I love my body. Love you, body. You're such a good body, The way you can, because Suzuki's like sitting there going, man, you slept for probably about 12 hours. And you found ways for your body to relax, for your bowels to move. And yeah. And the stuff's kicking it out. He goes, don't let the hair keep going. Yeah, I know. He goes, I understand that intense dive into depression because of your affection for Amy and the kids and Steffi and Patrick, and I understand that. But you can't do that. You have to be like your mom. If they're meant to be with you, they will. And whoever's meant to help usher in the kingdom of heaven will do so, and whoever's not will not. And you can't be attached to people thinking, I want them there, if they don't want to be there and they're not going to be there. It's a desire, it's a choice. The will of God, as humans try to perceive it, is we have freedom to choose. We can understand and obey natural laws. We have this freedom to choose our obedience, faith in God, or I am the great manipulator that thinks they're in control. And so it's a freedom. And people that are the manipulators that think they're in control want to take away our freedom to choose. And they do. They don't give you the proper understanding to be a religious person and live a religious life. You have a bunch of wackadoodles, get together a bunch of wackadoodles that have the same brain chemical addiction and then say, he's just crazy. He's trying to take away our brain chemical addiction, trying to take away the brain chemical addiction. No, I'm trying to help you make better choices so you don't do so you're not a cocaine addict. You're not a gambling addict. You're not a sex addict. You're not you're not a rapist. And you understand these people have been marauding excessive compulsive training, murdering rapist. Okay. The Shaolin priest and the and the samurai is a reaction to ninjutsu and to assassin creeds. Okay. The Shaolin priest, it's gone too far. Well, because you have to learn balance, harmony, and understanding, and they do things to extremes because the other guys do things to extremes. It's like, I don't have to. I exercise patiently and intelligently. I get in really great shape. They come near me. The chi that runs through my body because my capacity to protect and all the people worldwide communicated with me because he's the one. Okay, you just killed yourself, right? And now they have technology to keep me within more than arm's distance. One of the most evil places I ever been was walking through a Gulf side community at the foot of Fort Huachuca, walking to pay my rent. It was where all the people that were fucking me and screwing my wife and passing around lived. Okay. And it's horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. They didn't live on post. Most of them lived in that Gulf community. And I'm like, it's a horrible place. And you have lived near your neighbors, and you know how it's like Will Smith told me in prayer. It's like your kids go to school with Victor Maitland. Victor Maitland runs a studio where you work. And oh, okay. And if you try and get rid of Mr. Maitland, no, it doesn't work that way. The movies are fantasy of what because when you're in manipulation, you have no control over anything because everybody wants to replace you because they're all egomaniacs and they do it better. Okay. So what you do is you put people in intense abusive situations. And then when you establish a semblance of order to those intense abusive situations, most people that just want to stay in their house and not be bothered and go to work and feel safe. And then they go to the concert and, like the Ella Fitzgerald songs about Manhattan and stuff like that, and the lady is a tramp and stuff. And so it's finding ways to survive the hell and still, try to nurture the soul through this hell, which, no, you can't. And through her health problems and the drinking and the alcohol, the Bromer seltzer handy and according, brandy, you have to go for brandy and stuff. And so they do, they drink the booze and it makes them feel comfortably numb. And I used to wonder, why would, celebrate? Why do they do this? What's the fuck with the booze thing? It's insane, right? No, the alcohol causes brain injuries without getting beat up by Jake LaMotta or Sugar Ray Robinson. And then the brain injuries, even like with fighting, okay, cage fighting and boxing, okay. The adrenaline rush of causing the brain injury in the other person, you take out your frustrations on the golfing community in Fort Huachuca, on the other human being. And then it temporarily satisfies you because you feel like you've conquered your foe and you made lots of money and now you're the successful conqueror. Hail the conquering hero, right? Genie, you're free, right? And so you sit there and you try to get this across to people, and you've been making these same mistakes because of the group collective addiction for 100,000 years, right? The Philistines, there just wasn't enough Samsons to get rid of all the Philistines. No, that's not how it works. Because the Philistines, what they have to do is enlightenment as you would perceive it or see it, right? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Okay. We get a bunch of people and mass murder the Philistines. They're going to run off somewhere far away. They're going to rapidly sexually reproduce. They're going to train even harder this time. They're going to become Romans. They're going to become the Europeans, So it doesn't work, okay? Mass killing, the mass murderers does not work, okay? They go get a new game plan and they come back even harder, right? And they corrupt even more people by trapping the soul in the mind and the body, and that great body and that great mind, and the brilliant mind and the brilliant body with the medical industry. Why don't we just forget that and trespass love? You're trying to take away all my greatness and my fun. Yeah, because your greatness is an illusion, so your fun sucks. Well, I'm more intelligent than you. It's okay. But you know, and you get all these people, you haven't been tortured as bad as the people at Gitmo, as bad as the people and the in CCOT. You haven't been, you're such a wimp. It's like, okay, who do all the guys in CCOT pray to stop hell, to save children from being in this situation? Me. Okay. You don't think that's torture? You don't think sitting here in Las Cruces listening to all the little girls get raped to death in Juarez and nobody helping me stop it is torture? You don't think them killing them with the COVID to shut down the noise, to maintain control of their technology is torture? You don't think all the people praying to Jesus, who is this physical likeness of me, saying, help us, save us, and no one listening to me or Jesus and living the Lord's Prayer is torture? You think torture is accepting money, fighting over money to fuck, and then getting incarcerated and abused and then praying to me to stop it? Really? You think John McCain was tortured worse than I'm being tortured? You don't even understand eternity a lick. I have to explain it to you. And then you still have trouble comprehending what I'm saying. And most people that are intelligent go, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. Like the little Japanese ladies, look what they did to your body. You're so beautiful. You're so strong. You're so protecting. They're so jealous of you. They hate you so much for being good. Their hate for themselves, they, instead of look at themselves and correct themselves, they take it all out on you and blame you. Like in Sierra Vista, you know, when Alan Gibson, well, Jesus screwed up. No, Jesus, Muhammad didn't screw up. He's just saying that because he's the eternal spirit of Yahweh. I'm saying I didn't screw up on the Lord's Prayer. It wasn't me exclusively on the Lord's Prayer. It was everybody like, hey, here it is. You know, I asked for help. You know, the Garden of Gethsemane? Yeah. Everybody that is helpful is talking to him throughout time. And he's saying, no, this is horrible. I don't want to be crucified. I didn't do anything wrong. Right? You have to. It's the only way to focus the light on you to save the children from the darkness of the people that try to hide the light of day with manipulation, technology, money, so on and so forth. Okay, so I got to do it. Okay. So a lot of you don't realize that when you're talking a story and you're talking about Jesus, you're talking about the spirit of me. So I'm the man who was innocent and was crucified so you could pray to him as a God to ask for more money to fuck and kill and be entertained on TV by fucking and killing instead of living the Lord's Prayer with me. Okay. People don't understand that. The young Muslim kid from Iraq did. The one from Ali's family. When he kept telling me, no, you're wrong about the Quran, I said, I'm not wrong. I'm just telling you what my perspective. I want you to tell me your perspective of what you see and what you see that people in Iraq are seeing and how most of them are interpreting my life through their books. You know, I said, would you talk this way to Saladin or Daniel or Jesus? And he looked at me and goes, no. So he said, do you know who you're talking to? I'm the 1322nd Redeemer. I'm the spirit of Saladin. I'm the spirit of David. I'm the spirit of Jesus. Okay, would you tell the Spirit of Jesus that his perception of his eternal life is wrong and your book is more correct than his life? Right? And he stopped and he apologized. He brought his mother in to meet me. Okay. See why I've had a little bit more understanding and compassion to try to stop the mass murder of the people that try to be good Muslims than the ones that try to be good Christians and mass murder the people trying to be good Muslims, so I have less help in prayer? Do you understand? He's laughing. Yeah, I'm Tupacing through this one. 1322nd Redeemer. It's really hard. Okay, and I'm not going to cry for you because you don't deserve to see it or feel it. I'm going to hold back. Okay, I'm going to be stronger than you because I'm better than you. I'm going to be stronger than you because I'm better than you. Because they killed those girls with the COVID instead of set them free and gave them an opportunity to enjoy the touch of a man again. They didn't even give them an opportunity because they didn't think it was tangible. They thought these girls would become serial killers. You mean like the women on the Leonardo DiCaprio movies there? Yeah, with the Benicio del Toro? Okay. You know, the little girl, and she's all covered in blood because, yeah, and then after a while, that stuff catches up with you, and then you, in order to feel safe, you got to kill somebody you don't trust, and you don't trust any of them. You become Tony Montana. You kill your own best friend, your sister. Say hello to my little friend. And everybody likes that movie. It's like, I hate that movie. It's a disgusting movie. I like Miriam Cologne. I wish Miriam Cologne didn't have to do that, but you guys won't stop. Right? Another woman's born and looks like Miriam Cologne, and she doesn't get to be comforted by a beautiful man like me. She has to tolerate people that kill for money like you. And the kids have to feel it. Ralph, why can't you be my dad? Because the people in the military watching us and studying us, Brian, would kill your mother to try to turn me into a really vicious killer because you just stole his car and killed his dog. That was after they killed Brian and Aaron and then killed Miriam and then killed my daughter. And, you know, the dog in the car was the last straw. Well, everybody knows I love my Jeep. I'm biggest dickish, Carol. You're obnoxious. Yeah, I'm very obnoxious. I understand that. You guys, you know, Tupac, you know, hey, America, you made me. You know, if you don't like the way I talk, you don't like the way I have to solve your problems because they're your problems and not mine. That's your issue, Asu, not mine. Asu, that's your Asu. Okay. Thank you very much. Hey. All you people in Japan that aren't helping me clean up America because you think you're going to have some of the best real estate in the world after they mass murder each other. Are you any different than the piles of shit at the golf course in Fort Huachuca? You're just, and I saw my reflection when I was brushing my teeth. Right, but boy, you got nice teeth. Wow, look at how white they are. How many chemical products did you have to do that to, you know? I woke up this morning and while I was having my coffee. I like that song, but I'm like, yeah, coffee and cigarettes. Ugh. I've got those smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee blues, smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee all night long. Ugh. It's not going to help. It's just going to keep you awake while you kill yourself with the cigarettes. Yeah. But it's depression. And so the depression is trying to kill itself because it can't have what it wants. I said, woman, if that's the way it's gotta be, then darling, don't you worry about me, don't you worry about me. Yes, she said, I found somebody new to take your place. Wow, the devil, really? Yes, I said, don't feel so all alone. I found someone of my own. Ruth, Esther, Khadijah. Help, help. Yeah, thank you. Little ladies from Japan. I didn't get the names. No, they were all just being in there. It's like, yeah, it's the whole, it's the kids were talking to you while you were in the tub and stuff. Yeah, I was soaking in hot water, getting toxins out of my body. And the ladies were, you know, in spirit helping me in the tub. And then we all sat down and we talked, and the kids were over there sitting there patiently talking. Their culture's different, like the French and stuff like that. You know, if you see a man, you know, you don't say anything, and then they can sit there and say, look what these murderers did to this beautiful man. You know, he sat there in 8 months and got himself in really excellent shape to try to get them to be decent people. And then they decided to try to poison him to death because they were jealous of him instead of love his beautiful, loving effort and the way he did it with humility and kindness. And he didn't do it extremely, and they were jealous of him because, you know, he could jump up and kill 5 of them in the grocery stores if they attacked him without breaking a sweat, and they have to train. Hey, I'm training, incessantly and excessively, and all this stuff. And he just gets himself in good shape and goes, please don't do that. I don't want to have to hurt you. Okay. And what was I? 5'11", 3/4, 185 to 190 pounds. I was about $185 then. Yeah. What a sexy Samson you sexy Samson I are. Yeah. 5'11" and 3/4, so almost 6 feet tall, about $185. Mm-hmm. Kick everybody's ass. Is John Wick taller than me? What does that got to do with anything? Nothing. But I wasn't 5'4", but I wouldn't fuck with Tishna. No. No, he just stopped when he was supposed to stop because he knew that there were many numbers and they would mass murder women and children to, you know, he was a very amazing protecting man. He, most people didn't mess with him and wouldn't mess with him. When they got him on that train to Florida, boy, they were real cocky about it. And he was depressed because, he couldn't stop the women and children from being abused by large groups of abusive people. Yeah, like Jesus, during the Roman Empire occupation. Very similar. Okay, so don't think that your Roman God is any greater than the Chiricahua God, because he's not a God, he's a man that has faith in God, just like Jesus, and gets tortured eternally, just like Jesus, because you guys are all a bunch of peckerwoods on a fucking pussy plantation needing money to fuck and kill, because you're entertained by it.